Hi everyone, I'm very excited to share this video of our Kosi Bay holiday. The first day started early on the road, taking it nice and slow and stopping every now and then to check on the rigs. This was the first time transporting the boat on top of the bakkie, so I wanted to make sure that it was riding safely up there. As you can see here is the video of us arriving at reception, the total travel time for the day being just under 10 hours. From here we had two main tasks, get the camp set up and the boats in the water. Unfortunately I don't have a video of setting up camp, as something was weighing heavily on my mind, and that was getting that boat unloaded from the roof. Luckily some of the local fishing guides, or gillies, offered us their help, which made the whole process go very smoothly. Here you can see the final step of the unloading process, and with that the boats are in the water. We ended off the day relaxing at camp after a productive day, excited for the next week at Kosi Bay. The next morning we awoke to rain pattering on our tent. Michaela and my mom decided to stay in bed a bit longer, but as the main purpose of this holiday was fishing, that is, at least for my dad and myself, we decided to set off in search of some bait. We were looking for sand prawns, or as the locals call it, kafuf. With the right permit you can pump them yourself, but as you drive around on the lakes you will see locals pumping them to sell to fishermen. We decided to take the Indwazela and headed off into Third Lake. Kosi Bay is made up of 4 lakes in total, connected by shallow channels. Later in the video I have some footage that showcase the 3 main lakes. The lakes are connected to the ocean at Kosi mouth, which means the water in them is predominantly salt. After we got the bait we were looking for, we headed back to camp to pick up the girls. Unfortunately, shortly after we set out, it started raining quite heavily, so we ended up mostly cruising around on the lake. Overall, not a bad day 1 of our trip. Luckily, the weather gave us a break the following day and we decided to go for a boat picnic. I also really wanted to test out my drone and get a couple of shots of the canals. You can see us entering one here. Not much fishing was done today, mostly just soaking up the sunshine and enjoying each other's company, as my dad and I were planning on dedicating most of the next day to fishing. I hope you enjoy these videos. Michaela and I went for a walk when we got back to camp. The jetty offers an amazing place to relax with breathtaking views, as well as the best cell phone service in camp. My thoughts were on the next day and the fishing that lay ahead. We woke up bright and early the next morning, ready for a solid day of fishing. After fixing a cup of coffee, we met with our gilly for the day, Lindor, and went out to get some bait. After that, we anchored up, got some lines in the water, and started chatting. Getting to know Lindor was one of my favorite parts of this holiday. If you're ever in the area and in need of a fishing guide, I would highly recommend him. After a while of waiting, suddenly we heard a reel screaming, and then this happened.
Ja, buena buia.
É o Guta.
Tá, com certeza, né? Já bom não tá em Apuma, mano. Tá bom, musa. Hey, the musa. Nice size, huh?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good
Is
one.
it?
From the port.
Yeah, nice.
See, that's a nice one.
Oh, wow. Oh, what is it?
It's a big
Brim Stampy.
Stampy. Yay! That is stunning. Yo, look at it.
I ended up connecting with a beautiful Natal stumpnose, a hard-fighting and delicious-eating fish. What we would soon realize is that shortly after, it would be my dad's turn.
Yo! That's it, yeah.
My dad and I were both thrilled. Shortly after, the wind picked up and conditions on the water became quite bad, so we decided to head back to camp for some much needed rest. My parents went on a walk and I decided to rake the area in front of our campsite to keep it nice and clean and tidy. I also thought now would be a good time to take a video to tell you and show you exactly how our camp was laid out. The area in front is where we park the cars and our general moving space. As we move to the right, we see the tent that Michaela and I use, which you'll hopefully see a lot more of in future videos. Then over here we have my parents' bush larpa with the fridge, the gas cooker and the general food preparing space. There's Michaela saying hi. You see our towels hanging on the awning, which is a surprise use that we didn't really think of when my parents first bought the bush larpa. And here you can see the gorgeous campsite that we had booked. For those of you who are planning to visit, you can book campsites, and this specific one is campsite number 7. We ended off the night cooking our stump nose over the fire for a delicious dinner. The next day was Mom's Day, meaning that after all the fishing, she could choose what we did today. We started off the day with a picnic, taking both the boats. The little 15 horsepower Evinrude was purring like a kitten, performing really well in the sea air. My dad and I are very similar, in the sense that we both love spending time on the boat, regardless of whether there is fishing involved. It was a beautiful day, and being on the boat in the sunshine with people that I love was just amazing. The canals at Kosi make for some really amazing scenery. Michaela also took a whack at piloting the drone to grab a video of me on the Indwazela. Enjoy this footage and stay tuned, because there is something really exciting coming up. Here you can see Mom and Dad heading out of the canal on the way to the picnic spot. Some of my favorite memories from this trip was being on both boats, cruising side by side. We found an awesome spot in the shallows to pull the boats out and have a feed before starting to head back to camp.
Dit is so mooi.
On our way back, Michaela and I decided to book a turtle tour. A stretch of beach south from the Kosi mouth is a breeding ground for both loggerhead and leatherback turtles, the latter reaching up to an impressive 1,000 kilograms when fully grown. The tour we went on was organized by a company called Safari and Surf. It was an amazing experience and I would highly recommend them. Here we also met another young couple called Ian and Megan. They have their own YouTube channel called Mzungu Missions and make amazing videos documenting their travels throughout Southern Africa that I can't recommend enough. I will link their channel in the video description. The tour company picked us up in a game viewer and took us to Kosi Mouth. From there, the dedicated team of guides took us with an inflatable boat to the beach, where we had coffee and hot chocolate. After a quick briefing, we started walking the beach in search of turtles. After about an hour and a half of walking, we got the call that one of the guides had come across a nest of baby turtles that had started hatching. We all started sprinting in that direction and eventually got to the nest. It was such an amazing experience, being the first and probably the only people to ever see these little ones until they are fully grown. After they had all made their way into the ocean, we had a look at the nest itself and the tracks leading from it before heading home. What an amazing way to end the day.
Yo, check how many.
Last year.
Ooh, yes,
So that's it
doesn't
there.
look that deep.
Wow.
So the shells will all be under it.
Yeah, yeah. All the shell remain on the egg cage.
Don't be like that. You were so close.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next morning, we were greeted with dark skies and rain. That luckily cleared up rather quickly, and soon it was Michaela's turn to get a fish on. This one put up an amazing fight, which was great fun and lasted quite a while. In the end, Michaela asked me to jump in and help, as it started to go under the boat and she was afraid to lose it. It was another beautiful fish and a great show by both the fish and Michaela. This was also Mix's third fish ever, and I'm super proud of her for doing so well. Enjoy this fight and the reactions as we landed this fish together.
What is that?
Diese
I wait.
Granatepart. Ja. Coole Zeit. coming.
Kijk maar daar katrol.
Huh?
Kijk maar daar katrol.
You say. Pick up.
Pick up your rod, otherwise gaan hy weghardloop.
Okay, not too much.
Okay.
Waar is hy vis?
When it goes, and then you find it back.
Then you fight it back, okay. What? Was it?
Pull that way, that way.
Yeah, it's going.
And the button grab on the pipe.
Yeah, it's going under the boat.
Help me. Help me a little. Please.
Kom maar weer uit.
Okay.
As hy weer uitkom, dat Mikay dan weer vat.
There you go.
Ja, Lua. Ja, Lua.
Closer. It's the same.
Yeah, Stumpy. Yeah, it's fighting around. Yo. Yo. Yo.
There you go! Vat hom Mikay lang.
Ja, Sebonga. Still was fighting, yeah.
Okay, bring ek vir
Kyk at my handjies.
Yo. That's a nice one.
Oh,
Yo.
no, thank you for helping me at the end there. It was a little tough.
Yeah, the race fight, yeah.
Yo, it fought really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
No.
An awesome fight by an awesome girl, and at the end a beautiful fish to show for it. Not long after, another reel went off, and it would be time for my second and last fish of the holiday. Definitely one to remember.
Dis 'n bul daai, Frederik.
Ja, iets is hier.
Ek kan sommer sien hoe loop hy.
Ooh! Waar is die ander? Is hy hier of nie?
Ja, die net gestaan nou.
Sy, mooi. Mooi vis.
You see. Yay!
The next day we had two activities planned, both also organized by Safari and Surf, starting with a birding walk. We saw so many amazing birds, including the yellow-rumped tinkerbird and the white-eared barbet, both of which are new to me. The views were absolutely stunning, and our guide was very knowledgeable on all the local birds in the area. After our birding, we went to the Kosi mouth to go snorkeling. We saw so many amazing fish. My shoddy camera work definitely does not do it justice. I would highly recommend it to anyone. snorkeling absolutely blew my mind. It was my first time and it definitely won't be my last. I would recommend going with a guide. They can spot so many fish that I would never have noticed had I been on my own, as you can see right here. I woke up on our last full day in Kosi Bay feeling sad. Sad that it was almost over. We decided that spending the last day together, relaxing on the boat, soaking in the sunshine and laughing is exactly what we wanted. So we set off in search of yet another picnic spot. Eventually we ended up stumbling upon the perfect spot somewhere in First Lake. And let me tell you, as a last picnic spot of the trip, it definitely did not disappoint. This was a trip that will stay with me for years to come. The place, the people, and the memories are incredibly special. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep an eye out for the next one and, most importantly, go make some memories.